Whoa, you did wear a collar. You look good. Is the button up?
You know what?
Scroll down a little bit. Are you wearing pants?
Whoa, Jeremy, that's not appropriate.
Hey, what's a man crush with? Oh, here we go.
Here we go.
Are you wearing dress pants, or did you throw on a button up with like boxers on?
I'm just wearing some pants, dude. That's it. I promise you I've got pants on.
Jeans?
Dude, these jeans are so cool. Look at them. Look how ripped they are, right?
I was just noticing that.
Well, bro, you know what? I didn't buy them like that.
Oh, that's legit? Is that from like when you were skinning a fish or something? You accidentally cut some holes in your pants?
When I was cutting down a tree with a chainsaw and hit my jeans a little bit.
Did I just say skinning a fish?
Yeah, I don't know what that even is, but that's okay.
I'm pretty sure it's scaling a fish.
Yeah, there you go. You got it. Jeremy, where you at? Are you like in some palace right now?
Mm-hmm. Yes, this is my palace. My servants are right back here-ish. I'm fixing some dinner.
Yeah.
And
wait, dinner?
the
It's noon your time. What are you talking about?
I go to bed at 3:00 in the afternoon.
Yeah, I forgot.
So I eat dinner at like 1:30.
My bad.
No, do you want a little tour?
Yeah, let's do the tour. You said tour. Tour.
It's tour. This is where I am. Can you see, or is there like a
Yeah, we can see. Man,
yeah,
that's not a very nice place. It's kind of ugly.
Yeah, it's kind of stormy outside, so it's not as beautiful as it normally would be. But as you can tell, it's ocean. It's the ocean. Well, actually, it's the Gulf of Mexico, not the ocean. But we will just call it the ocean. So,
dude, I love it.
How are you doing, my friend?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm at the ocean. Although our kids obviously came with us. We have 3 boys. And so
I'm doing great, although I have kids.
Yeah, no, my stand is like cockeyed, so I'm trying to make it not cockeyed for you viewers at home.
I don't know if people can see it, but I love those lights behind you, man. Those things are sweet. Those are so cool.
Okay, so the story about this is a oceanfront condo on the Gulf of Mexico in Seaside, Florida. Seaside, Florida is amazing. Seaside, Florida is where The Truman Show was filmed.
Dude, that's crazy because I just started watching that movie last night. I'm not
Where'd you find it? Was it on Netflix?
Yeah.
It's on Netflix?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Then we're going to watch it tonight. Shannon was asking about it. Excuse me. She wants to watch it since we're here.
I'm probably going to watch it too. I was actually going to post about it because just in the first like minute and a half of the movie.
Did you see me?
Yeah, totally.
Was I running down the beach in my Speedos?
Totally. Is that how you sport it? You go with the Speedos?
No, I do have one, but that's from like when I was 19 years old and obnoxious.
I feel like I've always felt like Speedos were like kind of like a passive-aggressive stab at humanity from the person saying
it's kind of rude almost.
Yeah, like I kind of feel like attacked whenever someone is wearing one in my presence.
That's true. It's true. It's like, don't come at me like this, bro.
Yeah, give me totally. Don't do this to me.
So no Speedo, just straight up. Well, we used to live at the beach, so like surfer dudes used to call them baggies. Some people call them board shorts, whatever. So I just go straight up board shorts.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
The longer, the better.
Right. So,
short shorts is like cool now, and I'm like, you guys need to get a life, dude. I can almost see your manhood. Yeah,
that's true. Although if I keep hitting squats and my quads like get like boom one day, I'm not gonna lie, I'll probably go short shorts.
You're gonna wear Speedo. Not long after the short shorts comes the Speedo. It's the degradation into Speedoism.
You know what? You're probably right. It's a slippery slope.
It is. It's like heresy. You'll just find yourself slipping right into a pair of Speedos.
Well, then I'll just embrace it. So I won't fight it. I won't argue it. All right, fine. So then maybe I just skip the short shorts and go straight to it.
Just jump right in.
All right.
Just take a stab at humanity and wear them Speedos.
How rude. Okay. So this place, a friend owns it. Actually, a really good friend of mine who unfortunately passed away about a year ago. And so his amazing partner lets us stay here, or actually makes us stay here. He reminds us, you need to, it's been a year, it's time to go back. You need a vacation. Take your
That's
boys.
awesome.
So, yeah, the reason it's so nice, those really cool light up there and all kinds of other stuff is my friend was a very, very talented interior designer. So this is
I love it.
interiorly designed, if you will.
It's awesome, man.
Yeah, so we're super grateful, super fortunate. So, my mom actually drove in from New Orleans yesterday, picked up our boys, stayed the night, and brought our two oldest boys back. So right now it's just me,
Oh, I didn't
Shannon.
know that. That's cool.
Yeah, that. Well, do you hear like? Does it
No,
sound like a zoo in here?
no,
That's why. So,
exactly.
how's your hair look?
It's
Look
doing
good.
all right. It's doing all right. I just woke up, so I'm a little out of it, but I'm trying to get my act together here.
You know, I didn't even realize last time, but you've gotten it cut shorter on top. When did that happen?
You pay too much attention to my hair. I'm telling you what.
Well, I pay attention to everything,
You
so
are very observant.
I am observant.
I
So
just chopped it, man. I don't know. I just went in there and just chopped it.
when?
I don't know. Like a week, 2 weeks ago, something. I don't know.
Looks good. I
I
like it.
like cutting my own hair because I don't like going somewhere spending my time to do something that I can do myself.
Right,
So
because time's money, right, Tyler?
yeah, that's one way to look at it. I just don't like to have to schedule an appointment and then go to the appointment when I can just get out scissors and do it myself and it looks just as good.
Yeah,
Boom.
I would do it too. Do you cut your kids' hair?
Yeah, we do.
I cut my boys' hair, and I
It's
can do it. I
easy.
can do the blending and everything. I would do it on myself, but once you get like if you're using a mirror and
It's
everything's
hard.
backwards, yeah,
Yeah.
it gets really tricky.
That's why with mine, I just buzz it up to like right
Mm-hmm.
here,
Mm-hmm.
and then I just leave this whole part, and I
Yep.
just cut it as I please.
Yeah. So for that haircut, you can do that because there's not a ton of blending.
Yeah, yeah. If
Yeah.
you gotta blend it, it's hard.
Yeah. But it looks good. I like it.
So, dude, Truman Show. I'm telling you, man, that show, that movie,
Mm-hmm.
just like the first minute and a half of it, I was like, I was blown away by it again because I know this probably happened for you too, but for me, like I grew up in a Christian home, and um, and I'm thankful for that. But man, I got indoctrinated into religion big time, and I didn't even know it was happening. It was like, um, it was like someone wondering why they're an alcoholic if they got raised in a bar. It's like,
Hmm.
uh, and and then there was this moment where I began to have encounters with God, and the things He was telling me clearly was God talking. Was like it came to a point where it was almost like the exact opposite of what I was hearing in church,
Hmm.
and I was totally cool with the people at my church and everything. My experiences were starting to differ from theirs a little bit.
Were there certain key things that he was talking to you about that were pretty diametrically opposed to what you had been taught? Or was it just kind of like general, or were there specific things?
There were probably specific things. I don't think I really might. I don't think I was really even thinking about specifics. I just wanted to get along and be cool with everybody. But I think the main thing was like literally he would talk to me on a Saturday night about how he felt about something. Like he would tell me about how he felt about this certain genre of people and that he loved them, or he would like something I had been condemning myself about. He would speak his love and his grace over me and his kindness about that, and then on Sunday, the next day, the preacher would speak the very opposite of what I had just heard from the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Like if the Lord was speaking grace over something, the preacher would be like, "You need to try harder at this and do better at that." And it was just weird. And I remember being like, "Lord, what do I do about this?" And the Lord said to me, "If someone's an alcoholic, um, would it make much sense for them to continue to keep going to the bar? Like, if they have an addiction, why go to the place that supports their addiction?" So for me, instead of going to church, I decided to just spend more time in prayer and began to just have incredible things happen, and ended up never really going back there. Uh, but that was kind of like my pursuit. It was like my journey in religion coming into relationship, right? Like it was this huge thing, and it felt like this this is where the Truman Show comes in. It was like, it felt like, I felt like a conspiracy theorist. Like, it felt like there was this scheme against me that no one else recognized or wanted to, wanted to admit. And it was all around me. Like, it was woven into all of life. And, I felt like Alex Jones or something, like I felt like I had lost my mind because it was like no one else was looking at it and could see
They're
it.
spraying chemicals.
Yeah, it was, I was going to get out my tinfoil hat, but part of me was like, I'm losing my mind. And then part of me was totally sure about what I was hearing from God.
Yeah.
And
yeah. How old were you? How old were you?
This happened, my pursuit out of religion, like when I began to become aware of it, happened in like 2006. Like, there's years where you suspect it, but you don't have the guts to go forward yet because what you'll lose is so great, right? I mean, people that I'd gone to church with for 20 years or whatever, you willingly let that go in order to receive. You don't want to let that go. Like, that's not your intention in doing it, but you go after Jesus, and then that inevitably happens. So This was probably like 2006 for me, 2005, 2006. And this is a church where I like preached at and stuff like that. And man,
okay, so you were preaching before you kind of had the experiences that you did and had the understanding.
I was in the midst of it. I was in the midst of those experiences, yeah. And then I came to a point of realizing it wasn't healthy for me to be there anymore. Now, I'm not an anti-church guy, dude. I'm not any of that stuff. I love the bride. I love her. I think the bride's amazing. But there is a journey we all kind of find ourselves on, of the difference between this man-made facade of religion and then the reality of relationship with God himself, which is incredible. Anyway, so only reason I'm bringing this up is because you brought up Truman Show. And as I'm watching it last night, I'm looking at the parallels in the movie, knowing I've seen it before, knowing what I'm about to watch, thinking through what happens, and that movie possesses so much of what it's like to be on that journey out of religion into relationship. Like, there's the suspecting that something's awry. There's recognizing actual control, and like when you recognize control, you're like, it blows your mind. You're like, wait a second. People are trying to keep me in bondage. Like,
do you feel like everybody has the same reaction? Okay, so you said there's recognition and then there's being aware. Okay, there's this force at work against me.
Right.
Do you feel like everybody has a different response to that, like based on their hardwiring and who they are and things like that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that some people, like Christine, I love the way my wife is wired. She's totally different from me, and she's not someone that's built like a forerunner. She more like will just hold down the fort and just she can find joy in anything. So she's good at like just doing normal life. And I mean, she's not normal. She married me, but like, she's not going to think outside the box. That's not going to be something that dawns upon her. Like, she can go into any church, whether it be Catholic or Protestant, and she'll encounter Holy Spirit there, and she'll enjoy him. And she probably won't walk out with many criticisms of the church. Mm-hmm. But forerunners or reformers, their natural inclination isn't to be critical of the church, but when there's something that arises that they don't necessarily dig, they'll be vocal about it. Mm-hmm. Because they're trying to be true to the convictions that the Holy Spirit's given to them. So, anyways, I don't think that's everyone's discovery. But I do think everyone knows the difference between religion and relationship, right?
Totally. I'm following you.
Yeah. So, anyways, there's just so much in that, that movie. There's like the moment where you realize that there is such a thing as freedom, that you aren't free.
Don't lose that button right there.
What button?
The one right there.
What?
Your second from the top. When you stretch back.
Don't lose it. Don't let it pop.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah.
If you want to see in the shirt there, Jeremy.
Okay, sorry. I didn't want to mess up your flow. You're doing great.
Oh,
Keep going. So I had to point it out. I'm observant.
Yeah, you are. You totally... Dude, those are the same cups we have. There we go. Shabam.
They get really hot in the dishwasher, apparently.
Nice little tidbit there. Whoa! Hi, room.
Hey. We're crooked again. Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
I just think that it's a great movie for anyone that's like...
Keep going.
anyone
want
that's
to hear.
free or anyone that's like not free and suspecting that maybe they're in a world where they are being controlled.
So what happens after that realization?
But what? Which one?
Well, you said there's the recognition, right? So you recognize that there's something at work
Yeah,
against you, and you feel
and you recognize that there's more. Like I think that's where it really starts. For me, it was like
okay. So then what?
it wasn't that people were against me. That wasn't even the first thing. It was more like there's more, and you feel this invitation in your heart to like bring other people along. Like, hey, let's pursue this together. And then you're astounded because no one wants to come, and you're totally alone. And
Right.
the only people that do want more are people that have already been through the journey you've been through, and they look at you and they go, we know exactly how that feels, and we're here to support you as you get your heart torn out, right?
And everybody else is just watching, and they're like, it's almost like, what are their names? Lewis and Clark.
Oh yeah, dude.
Who it's like everyone's hanging out here on the East Coast.
They're
whatever.
like, peace out.
They're like, all right, they're going that way.
Yeah.
They're going west. We have no idea what's there.
Have fun.
We believe in them. We might help throw a little bit of cashola at them or whatever. Hopefully they're going to make this map. Hopefully they're going to find something cool in you. And we're going to see how many arrows they come back with in their back. And
we're going to take wagers on how many years it is till they die.
There's all kinds of wagers, you know.
Totally.
I can relate with that. I understand that. We've gone through that for the last 3 years. And you know what? In a strange way, and I know you are too, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, totally.
Because I realize that's, in a way, if you are a pioneer, if you are in any way a trailblazer with God, it's just kind of, in a sense, your lot in life. In a good way. I don't mean that in a bad way. It's an honor and a privilege to be able to do that. But there are challenges that come along with it, for sure. And it can be lonely sometimes.
Yeah, it totally can be. But that's the thing is, like, once you've found the beat of the drum of your tribe, like you'll find other people with the same beat, you know, the same rhythm, and then you get to just roll with them. But you wouldn't find that otherwise.
No, just think before the internet how much more difficult it would be to find, you know?
Totally.
At least now people can connect. You know, you're in Washington, you were in Texas when we first really got connected. I was in Louisiana, still am in Louisiana. Totally. And so we're able to communicate whenever we please.
Yeah.
I mean, prior to the communication channels that we have now, man, it would be challenging. Like we'd be limited to phone or, you know, whoever's in our immediate sphere of influence, like people that we can travel to during the day.
Right.
Who's in your office, who's in your whatever. So
totally.
So the Truman Show, it's on Netflix. I do need to watch it since I'm here.
It's so good. Even the way they paint the director of the Truman Show. And it's so funny, last night I realized his name's Christoph.
No, it's not. Is it really?
Christoph, yeah. So the word Christ with the word of behind it. And it's like, I definitely am suspect that the people that wrote that movie, I would guess that they had some kind of, there's some kind of agenda there.
You think so?
A little bit, maybe a little bit.
Spiritually, or
yeah, I think that the story paints such a strong picture that's really hard not to say that it in no way applies to our spiritual walk.
Well, yeah, basically every movie has an underlying storyline that is not the actual storyline, but it actually is the storyline. Like I have a good friend who's a movie producer, and like we'll talk about movies, and he'll be like, he'll say, "Well, that's a love story." And I'm like, "What?" It's about boxing. You know, he'll talk about Rocky and things like. He'll talk about the actual storyline.
Yeah.
You know, we think it's about the fighting, and it's not. It's a love story, and things like that. So, to your point, the Truman Show could very well be an awakening story, a story of a man's coming alive. Yeah.
And it's funny the way that they paint God in it. He's very like he's an incredible, he's perfect representation of what most people think God to be. Like controlling, kind, but like really, really vindictive at points, and willing to take the lives of his children, which is obviously not who we know him to be at all. Which is why it's so great that, I won't say the ending of the movie, but that freedom is found, and that Truman escapes that picture of that kind of God. and goes on to discover that the world's a whole heck of a lot bigger than what he thought, that the world's a whole heck of a lot more beautiful than he thought. There's so much freedom to be had. I mean, so anyways, man, I'm going to watch it tonight as well and just let it rock me. So
That's what I used to think God was like, and that's why I really didn't follow him.
dude, totally.
I just didn't. I had what he now explained to me was a dysfunctional relationship, because I thought that's what he was, a far off, distant, pie in the sky God that was just kind of sending mandates from afar that we needed to follow.
Yeah.
And if we didn't follow, then he'd spank you and maybe slap you or whatever. But it's out of love, and that's called love. And so
Right.
because of that, I was just like, hey man, look, I'll be over here.
Yeah.
You can be over there. I believe in you. I know you exist way over there, but
you stay over there and I'll stay over here.
Yeah. And I'm just gonna do my thing. And one day, if something bigger and something more profound and amazing comes dropping into my world, then hey, look, we can have a different relationship. And really, that's what happened.
Yeah. Yeah. You
And
know,
that,
the thing
and
is,
that's why you and me do what we do, because we have experienced something real and something tangible, and we had our Truman Show experience in life. And how do you not be ruined for forever with that kind of thing?
Totally, man.
How do you not spend the rest of your life helping other folks awaken to that reality for themselves? It's
Exactly.
freedom.
Because it's the greatest gift we've ever received, and we want other people to have it. Like, and that whole picture you said, the picture you painted of the pine, far off in the sky, God. The bottom line is that the heart can't buy in on something like that. Like, you weren't 100% because that's not something that the heart gets excited about. It's just, there's nothing to buy in on. There's no risk, there's no beauty, there's nothing.
Yeah.
But when you actually encounter him for who he is, and you begin, like, the light of his goodness begins to like dawn upon your heart, dude, there's nothing like it. It's the greatest high in the world. It's amazing.
Oh yes.
Shabam. Hey, let me turn. I forgot to turn on the lights over my head. Let me do that.
Can you see me?
Yeah.
Am I dark? I feel dark back here.
You are dark back there. You're hiding in a cloud of darkness.
I feel like it's one of those crime shows where they have the person in
Totally,
the background, but they're completely dark.
And they're like talking with, yeah, exactly.
I witnessed the crime. Okay, Tyler just walked away. He went to go turn on the light. He's coming back. Let's talk about. Oh, here he comes.
Boom.
We were going to talk about you, but you decided to come back prior to our ability to talk about you.
Hey, at least I know how you say your last name now, so you can't quiz me on that.
No, I should have come up with something. But since this is no agenda, I didn't have that on hand. So you talked about this God that is not some far off distant God. This God where when you meet him, everything kind of flips and your world changes. My goodness.
You just disappeared.
My battery.
The regular problems on No Agenda. Jeremy gets called by his wife. Jeremy's phone dies. Jeremy.
The Jeremy Problem Show. Okay. Entertain our friends for a moment, please.
Okay.
I will return.
Okay, I'm just going to start taking off my shirt.
Oh, I'll stay here. People, I sure hope people realize that we just joke like that. They're going to have to. Okay, I'll be right back.
They're going to have to. All right, so while Jeremy's gone, I'll just start talking about the things I most adore about him. You know what? Jeremy, when he talks to me in private, I don't know if he's ever said anything unkind, ever. He's always uplifting, always encouraging.
What were you talking about? Let me in on the conversation.
Just how much of a terrible friend you are.
I have my moments.
Yeah, it's okay, man. We all have. What's going on right now?
Well, you just need to entertain people because my phone is dying and I have to do something about it. I'm trying to be subtle.
This is so subtle, man. This is incredibly subtle.
I have to find a new location with a plug. This is, how at your own home, you know where all the plugs are.
Yeah, not in a new place.
Yeah, I mean, you can make a swift change at the drop of a dime. Well, here, I have to be a little bit clumsy, and I don't
Way to
like
be
being clumsy.
prepared, though, Jeremy.
Actually, I charged my phone. I really don't know what happened. It must be that force working against us.
Oh, yikes. We need to intercede and fast.
Oh my goodness. I didn't give the right amount. Is that the problem?
I didn't strive enough.
Well, I'm still talking to you.
Yeah, this is just awkward. I'm talking to your house. This shroud in front of me, the veil. It hasn't been torn yet. Jeremy hasn't stepped through.
I have to jump through the correct hoops in order to do it. Okay, but I do have a question, and I can talk because I can talk
What's
and
up?
do stuff
Tell me.
because I can multitask. Okay, so like I was saying, we know this God. We met this God, right? And it's the God that we always knew existed and that we always dreamed was true and he was real. And there's this God that loves us infinitely, that
Yep.
there is no distance, he's not far off and all this stuff, okay? So are you listening to me?
Yeah, I'm trying.
You're trying. I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, folks. I'm sorry. It's better than the phone dying, I promise, because then
Yeah,
this
that
conversation
was-
couldn't happen.
That would suck.
This is vacation podcasting, people.
Oh, that
okay?
cord's not long enough. You're so screwed. That's not going to get there.
Did you really calculate that? Because I think you're right. Oh, man.
Jeremy.
This is
Hey,
rough.
I got close-ups of your tattoo. I feel better about this now.
Did you like it? I want another one. Hey. There we go.
Now
Can
you just
see
look like a
me?
total lobster.
Lobster? Oh, I did get a little tan. I wasn't tan at all before.
All right. So tell me your question.
Well, I was in the middle of telling you
I
the
know,
question.
but I couldn't focus on it. I couldn't see your face.
So is that my fault or your fault?
That's my fault.
We have to know who to blame.
We always have to know who's right and wrong.
Who's right, who's wrong, whose fault, whose problem is it?
Who needs to repent? Exactly.
Well, that is actually kind of part of my question. Do you like this chair, by the way? I feel like I'm in a restaurant.
I can't see it. I'm not there with you.
I thought you just got a tour of the whole place.
Yeah, I kind of did. I saw the fibers of the couch, but I didn't see the actual couch.
So the religion of anti-religion.
Oh
It's
gosh,
like-
yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Can't
yeah. Okay, so
stand
let's
that.
talk
I
about
was
that a little
totally a part of that, man.
The religion of anti-religion. So
Yeah,
basically,
I think
like,
that's a part of the journey, though. Like, I think that
So you come out of legalism. You come out of this like staunch, almost fundamentalist mindset of this angry God, this God that's primarily concerned with obedience and things like that.
Yeah.
And you come out of that, you realize the what it means to be complete in Christ. You understand the finished works of Christ, and then so you jump out of that the old religion into the new religion of grace. Essentially, is that
well,
what you're talking
you
about?
could say grace. I mean, I would have never said it like that, but the bottom line is you still have residue left over from that religion you were in, and so now you're just condemning a new thing, which is what you were in before.
Right, because if you're against something like that, if you're bitter at something, then that something still has control over you.
Exactly, and the bottom line is I don't even worry about that. Like, I see people all over the place like that. Like, and I think it's part of them digesting the fact that they had been taken advantage of by the enemy or whatever for a really, really long time, and they're mad about it. So I think that that's a part of the healing process. Like, I don't think that we can. I think if someone stays there, they're settling for a lot less than what God has for them. But it's definitely part of the process. Like, there was a 3-year period of my life where like that's all I could see was religion all around me, and it drove me nuts. And I think what I needed more than anything was someone just to tell me that they understood and that they validated what I saw, and I wasn't crazy. And I knew when I began to get healed of my afflictions from religion, when I could genuinely love the Pharisee and the synagogue and the Sanhedrin. I could love them all and not feel critical towards them, not feel anything but compassion and love towards them, even when they took stabs at me, which still happens all the time. You know, I knew I was getting healed when I genuinely could see their situation and love them. Not just like feel terrible for them because they're just religious Pharisees, because that's just passive aggressive anyways. Like, genuinely see them for who they are and value them.
That's still naming. And that's something that I really feel like and I mean we as people, and specifically the body of Christ, need to just stop.
Yeah.
Is naming people like that, because really what that does is disingenuous. It all of a sudden creates a negativity. It creates a enemy mentality. Basically, it's the us versus them, and so that's what you're talking about. Like, as soon as you stop accusing people of being Pharisees and being legalists and all this stuff, it's a true sign of a true heart transformation. And I love that you're talking about that, because it's almost like the sequel to the Truman Show of what it would be.
Yeah.
So like
totally.
I haven't seen it in years, right? So if I'm giving a spoiler, then I'm spoiling it for myself again. But I think he comes to realize that this world that was created for him really is a false paradigm, right? So he steps out of it and he's like, "Whoa, there's more," right? So how crazy would it be for a follow up to that? Because I believe
that's not the end of the story in reality.
No, it's not the end of the
beginning.
story. Yeah, which is the beginning, which is where you mentioned that for yourself, and I had a little bit of it, not a ton, but a little bit of it coming into the flip side of that, which is, kind of the decompressing, the de-junking phase, where there might be a little bit of backlash from what was programmed in there before. But I think it's really beneficial, because to understand kind of the phases and kind of the stages of awakening that people go through, it's healthy in a sense, because I've been able to help walk some people through this since then, because it's almost like I've seen it in myself and other people, and it's like, okay, well, good. Well, now I can kind of understand and have a better sense for where other people are in their journey and kind of walk them through it. And we can help people through the learning curve. And you can kind of see someone, like, as they're coming into an awareness and coming out of maybe what would be referred to as religious mindsets into like a freedom mindset. Well, okay, well, it'd be a good time to connect with that person and say, okay, well, welcome to this new world of understanding. Isn't it awesome?
Totally.
Isn't it cool? Isn't it cool to know that these shackles that you thought existed, they do not exist. They're not there. And so you do have liberty. You do have unveiled access to God, no matter what, and all this stuff. Now, hey, let's walk together in what it looks like to walk this out.
Yeah.
And so let's not try to redefine God either, based out of being mad at what was defined before. And I think that happens occasionally.
Totally.
Because there really are aspects to God, like, God is not this God that's needs us to jump through hoops and behave a certain way in order to release his love and affection to us. We know that, right? That's unconditional. However, he does want us to learn to be responsible individuals in life and to steward everything well: our time, ability, talents, gifts, influence that he's given us, our hearts. And so that could for someone who understands that and walks that out with God, could almost be misconstrued as quote unquote religious.
Yeah.
And there's not an ounce of religiosity in it.
Totally. Well, that's the thing, is like, when we think that discipline is being religious, we've missed the whole point.
Oh yeah. I mean, I could very easily, and I've said this multiple times, but there are people where if they were watching like what I do without knowing my heart, without talking to me, oh man, I could be accused of being religious all day long. I get up at the same time, and I eat the same thing throughout the day for the most part. I train at the same time. I carve out a certain time of my life to hang out with God. And that could very easily be misconstrued as being ritualistic or trying
whatever.
Formula, right. It's anything but that. I know that, and so I don't need to, justify myself for it. But I think that's how you know when you really are actually free.
Yeah.
When you can do things that could appear as ritual or religion when they're really not. They're full of life.
Dude, totally, man. Right on. Well, as you were talking, you were saying, you were talking about people just like lambasting you, or if they saw your life, and they didn't understand your heart, that kind of thing. And it reminded me of this new Radiohead album, which we
Ah,
the song we decided to listen to and talk about today was what's it called again? Burn the Witch?
Burn the Witch.
Dude, what did you think?
Do you want my? I did not. I only listened to the preview over and over and over again. I didn't download.
You didn't spend the $1 to download it?
No, it's not about the dollar. I'm out of room on my phone. There's so many things I want to do on my phone.
That is awesome.
Like I went out there on the porch to shoot a video.
You couldn't do it.
No, I mean I got like 3 or 4 minutes in and then out of space. But I actually went through the whole album. I previewed all the songs, so I have a pretty good sense for the tone, the feel of the album and Burn the Witch. But I want to hear your feedback, and then I'll give you mine.
Well, I definitely did my homework, Jeremy.
I know.
Dude, I not only listened to the song multiple times.
Did you look up the lyrics and stuff and tattoo them on your arm?
No, almost. No, you can hear the lyrics really, really easily. No, what I did was I watched the music video too, which actually they clarified a lot about what they meant by the song through the video. Dude, it's absolutely fantastic. That's a good idea. That's a good call. Do it.
Go ahead. I'm with you. Keep on.
Oh, dude, it looks so much better.
Sorry about that.
It's fine.
Ooh, Lobster Boy.
You were. Now you look a little better. It was like red, really red. Throw me a blue steel. There you go. There you go. All right. No, dude, that song is amazing. Like anyone that doesn't know who Radiohead is, you've been living in a cave. But it's so it's called Burn the Witch, and I forget exactly how the lyrics go, but dude, to me, like when I listen to the song, it's all about, are you gonna conform? Are you gonna do what everyone else does, or are you gonna do what you feel like you need to do? Because most of the time, people that don't conform get ostracized in societies and treated not unlike we did with witches back in the day, where we'd burn them at the stake. And then the video, Jeremy, you have to go watch it. It's super intense. It's a claymation video, but it's really, really intense.
No way.
Yeah, it's so good, dude.
Where did you find it on YouTube?
You will love it. As someone that appreciates art, you'll love it. Yeah, they put it up on YouTube. I think it has like 17 million views or something, or somewhere in the millions, and it's been up for like a week and a half or something. It's absolutely brilliant. And what they're trying to communicate and convey through it is amazing. But yeah, it's about conscience, and it's about like, if you're gonna stand by and like watch what other people do and actually have a conscience about life and choose to live your life differently, that it could have some pretty traumatic results in your own life just because you're not gonna fit in, and it's gonna be interesting. So it was really good. It was super good. I kept listening to the song over and over and over again. It was great.
What is your favorite thing about Radiohead as a band?
That's a good question. I think it's the depth. They actually think about what they say.
Yeah.
Like I remember DJ Shadow did a video with them. Close that door. DJ Shadow did a video with them back in the day called "Rabbit in Your Headlights." It's like my favorite song by them. Anyways, it was about the poor and about caring for the poor, and instead of taking pot shots at people that are less fortunate than us and not as powerful as us, caring for them and how that empowers them. So I just feel like most of the stuff they talk about is pretty deep. I think that's what I appreciate about them. It's pretty much the furthest thing from pop that it can be.
Yeah, that's really what I like about them as well. I feel like they do everything opposite of what you're supposed to do. Yeah, like a few albums ago, they put their album out for free online.
Yeah,
and they said download it and give us what you think it's worth as far as money.
That's
right?
So cool.
Who does that?
Yeah,
who does that? And they're truly artists.
Yeah,
there's a lot of very gifted and very talented musicians, dancers, performers, but not everybody is an artist.
Dude, totally.
I mean, a lot of music that's listened to, and I'm not a pop music hater. I like some pop music. Some of it's catchy and good. I don't typically listen to it, but some of it I actually really like.
Dude, totally.
You were telling me to listen to Justin Timberlake, or not Justin Bieber song.
Bieb, dude.
Right? So we both are cool with if it's a good song, it's a good song. But They have most of those people have teams, literal
Yeah, to
whole
help them write
teams of
stuff. I know.
producers
Yeah,
or
totally. It's
songwriters,
crazy.
from beginning to end to make the song. And
Yeah.
so you're hearing these statements and things that are not from people's hearts, really.
Yeah.
And then so you get a band like Radiohead, and everything they say is their own. It's their own raw
They contrived
soul.
it.
It's their soul.
Yeah.
It's their true heart's feelings on issues, on life, on the world, on whatever. And there's something that I can connect with that. And really, I can worship God to it. It's really
Yeah.
funny. I was in my living room probably a year ago, and I love listening to music. Like I could just sit for
Me
a couple of
too.
hours and
Me
listen to
too.
music. And I was listening to music, and the Holy Spirit's like, let's check out Nirvana. So I went to the Nirvana Unplugged album, which I listened to that. I came up on that as a
Back in the
kid in the
day, dude.
'90s. Man, I love
Yeah.
Nirvana Unplugged. It's so raw and it's so beautiful. And I pulled it up, and I can't remember what song it was, but "Where Did You Sleep Last Night" or something like that.
Okay.
It was a cover tune that they did, and it was so raw and it was so real. And I'm sitting there connecting to the person of God to the song, and the lyrics were not godly lyrics. That's
Yeah.
not the point. The point is that this man
Yeah.
was crying out from his heart of hearts,
Come on.
and it was real. He was looking to connect with something, and I feel like that's what music, art,
Yeah.
and really anything in that realm is for. It's for crying out and connecting from the deepest part of you that you
Yeah.
can't even explain in words sometimes. I mean, sometimes you're singing lyrics, which are words, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes the words are even you can't even put language to what's going on in there, but you do the best you can
Yeah.
to attach some letters that combine together to make a sound, which is known as a word, and try to express something, right? And even that limits what's actually going on. But
Totally.
that's what we're doing, and that's what he was doing when he was singing these
Coldplay's like
songs.
that for me, man. Coldplay.
Yeah, I like Coldplay too for the same reason. A lot of their songs are like that. You feel like you're listening to what's his name, Chris, the lead singer guy, Chris Martin. Is that his name? Chris Martin, something like that.
I don't know.
Yeah, you feel like you're hearing Chris Martin's soul, and I really feel like that's what God loves. I feel like God wants us to take everything within us, right, and to be able to sing that out to Him.
Yeah.
I mean, could you imagine being God and then taking some like a few phrases that were written by someone else, which is fine sometimes, but I'm just saying, like, if it's not truly something that you feel, and taking it and throwing it at God,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
trying to convince him
He's
that,
like,
like,
what?
this is what you feel, and
Yeah.
he's like, man, I would. That's nice. Thank you for the effort. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you, and I love you. But guess what? What's really going on in there?
Yeah. Let's really talk, man.
Send that to me.
Yeah.
Send that to me.
Whatever
Put
it
that
is, all the garbage along with it.
I don't care what it
Yeah,
is.
totally.
I want the raw. I want the real. And if it is a beautiful packaged
Then
whatever,
great. That's
then
fine.
I'll
Yeah.
take it. That's what I want.
Totally.
But if it's the challenges, if it's the pain, if it's the whatever, then I want that too.
Dude, totally.
I want that too. And I feel like that's when it comes to music, that's worship. I don't feel like worship is like singing at the deity of God over and over and over and over again in a way where we're trying to convince him how awesome he is.
Yeah, totally.
It's us longing to um, express to him who we are and who he is to us. Does
Totally.
that make sense?
Totally.
And it's so much more beautiful that way.
I agree, man. I think so many people do that without even knowing that they're doing it. Just a second. I've got a little one talking to me. Can you close the door, love? Because right now I'm recording. Dude, you guys, close the door and go tell mom that you're doing this. Because she'll help me out. Close it. Oh my gosh. You don't understand. I'm recording right now. Close the door. Thank you. Yes. Kids are amazing.
Okay, so yes, they are, and your kids are wonderful. I love those kids. Okay, so you're saying sometimes people do that on accident and they don't even realize it.
I think people create worship all the time, and they're just because it's truly just a rending of the heart and pouring out what's inside, you know. And sometimes I don't think people know, but they pour it out on the feet of Jesus. But yeah, man. I mean, there's so many people out there that create songs that are worshipful. And I don't even think they intend that it be used in that way. But it's so real and so beautiful. Fix You by Coldplay is one of those songs.
Yeah.
Bieber's song called Purpose that I told you to listen to is really good. But I know Bieber is actually singing that one too. God, it's too clear in the song.
Right.
But it's funny, man. Like, I'll just be listening to some secular worship song or secular worship song, secular like radio station, and a song will come on, and God will speak to me through it, and I'll just start totally crying, in my car or whatever, and it's awesome. It's awesome. So
that's cool. I don't watch South Park, and you probably used to watch it like a long 10, 15 years ago. But there's an episode where what's the round kid, the main character?
I don't watch it. I don't know.
Cartman, I think is his name.
Okay.
Anyways, he was actually making fun of Christian music, which I don't endorse, but it was funny. Okay, and he was taking Christian songs and replacing God with like Baby or whatever, like Sweetheart, and he was just taking them and making them love songs. And he was showing how like they were interchangeable. It was really funny.
Well, that's what you can do with love songs too. You can do that the other way around, where you just sing them to God, man. It's awesome.
That's exactly right. And I really feel like I do that often.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, and it's really cool. I do the same with instrumental things like a guitar. So if you have somebody who can tear up the guitar and play some nasty blues licks,
totally.
Playing blues and really any kind of music like that on guitar or any other instrument, it's phrasing. So like a lick on guitar is essentially like it's a language, is what it is.
They're totally talking, yeah.
Yeah, and so that's total worship in the sense it's phrasing the melody in your heart. And so you can worship to really any kind of music.
Dude, totally. That's awesome. Jeremy.
Yes, sir.
I want to tell you something.
Please.
I Googled probably a week or so ago, like 10 best things to buy on Amazon.
Okay, what'd you find?
Just curious, like what was on there. And they had like
How to Raise the Dead by Tyler Johnson.
Yeah, that'd
number
be
2.
sweet. Yeah.
Number 2.
Yeah. They had like Venus flytraps. They had like candles that you can burn down at the end. There's like a ring inside, things like that. But
those were in the top 10 for real.
Yeah, I passed on all those. But they highlighted this one thing that caught my attention, and I read all about it. I read the reviews,
please don't let it be what I think it could be.
No, I don't know what you're thinking, but it's not that.
Okay. I'll tell you later.
Yeah. So it was I read the reviews and I'm thinking, dude, if this is real, like if this actually is true, then I'm going to buy this. I'm going to try it out. So turns out this dude took this berry from Africa, and there's this protein in the berry that binds to your bitterness receptors on your tongue. And he put it into pill form, like a tablet that dissolves on your tongue. And it turns out, like, if you suck on this thing for like 5 minutes or so, it's like a Willy Wonka deal, man. It's like the snozberries taste like snozberries. Like, if you put this thing on your tongue for 5 minutes,
it makes you high?
No. I'm not endorsing being high.
Isn't that what happens to Willy Wonka?
No.
Man. Maybe I don't remember that movie accurately.
Yeah, maybe you were high when you saw that movie. I don't know.
I've never done any sort of mind. That's a lie. I'm sorry.
There was a pre-Christ era for you as well.
Totally.
Okay, so if you suck on this tablet and it dissolves on your tongue, you can go eat lemons, limes, grapefruits, and they taste like candy.
Ooh. That sounds good.
So we were we had a friend over, and we got all this crazy fruit. We got like strawberries, we got tomatoes, we got limes, lemons, all this stuff. And we cut it all up and we laid it out on the table with our kids. Everyone stuck one of these pills, these tablets in our mouth.
So you actually bought it?
Yeah, I got it. And
how much did it cost?
It was like $15 for 10 pills. All right, so check this out, dude. We all sat down at the table. and we dissolve these things on our tongue. And the first thing I wanted to try was I wanted to try tomato, because for me tomatoes are, while they're designated a fruit, defined a fruit, they like, come on, we all treat them like vegetables, right?
That's a sham, and you know it.
Yeah, that's a total sham. So I'm like, all right, if this thing really works.
Also available on Amazon, the ShamWow.
Yeah, there we go, the ShamWow. So if this really works, the tomato is going to show me. So I cut up the tomato and I passed it around the table. And I'm like, you guys ready? And they're like, yeah. So we all take a bite. And dude, the tomato tasted like sugar. You don't believe me?
I do believe you. I do. And here's why. Because essentially all that process is down to sugar inside you anyways.
Well, it's so weird, man, because some people would say, oh, it makes sour things sweet. It doesn't. All it does is it blocks out the bitterness that you normally taste. So then all you're left to taste is the actual sweetness of the fruit. And I didn't know until we did this how much stuff we eat that is so unbelievably full of sugar. Like
that's the point.
These fruits, dude, these fruits are so full of sugar. Like,
yes.
dude, growing up, my mom would make us breakfast, and she would cut a grapefruit in half, and then she would sprinkle sugar on it because it's so bitter.
Dude, it's full of sugar.
I'm telling you, man, the grapefruits are packed with sugar. And when you do this pill, when you pop this pill, Jeremy, it was amazing, bro. Like, dude, we were taking lemons, and we were just like eating lemons, and lemons are so full of sugar. And they just tasted like candy. Like, you have no reason to eat candy again if you get one of these pills, dude. There is incredible. And it's like, these pills are seriously derived from a berry in Africa. So there's nothing, no additives, weird stuff in it. It's all good for you. It's not bad. So
there are other things derived from the ground that people do not condone, Mr. Johnson.
That's true. That's true. So there was just carnage of fruit, leftover fruit on our table. Just the mounds in front of my kids of just fruit. We were just eating so much stuff. So we ate, dude, I drank vinegar with it.
How much?
Just a little bit. I just want to try it because people were saying that it was sweet. And I couldn't believe the vinegar was sweet.
Apple juice? Did it taste like apple juice?
No, it tasted like sweet vinegar. But like, dude, you can eat cream cheese and it tastes like cheesecake.
Hey, send me the link and put it in the description when you do the thing.
It's called M-berry. The letter M with berry behind it.
M-berry.
It's pretty hard to miss, but it works, man. And it only works for probably 5 to 10 minutes.
Whoa.
But like, good. You can eat salt and vinegar chips and they taste sweet. You can we ate tomatoes, they were sweet. Limes, lemons. Oh, dude, one of my favorites was strawberries. They were absolutely phenomenal. Because, see, all these fruits that we've all become accustomed to, most of them are not fully ripe when we buy them. And so they have a little bit of bitterness that we don't even really recognize anymore. But things like kiwi, it's got some bitterness in there. All that's gone. It's just incredible. Strawberries, tomatoes, lemons, limes, grapefruits. Dude, an orange. Oranges were like almost too sweet. They were so good. Like, I would peel an orange, and normally, I'm like slice by slice eating it. This time, we were just inhaling stuff. It was awesome.
It's so funny that you talk to me about eating bitter food, because yesterday we took our kids across the street here at the beach to get some pizza at a little pizza shop.
Yeah.
And they gave us water with lemon in it. And I don't know, apparently Shannon says I've done this with all of our kids. Well, the babies, I like to feed them lemons to watch them make that funny face. So I told our other two boys, I'm like, watch this. And I get the lemon and, I take a little piece out, probably about that big, and I put it in baby Zeke's mouth, and he starts chewing it. And next thing you know, he's like, totally. The other two are cracking up. They think it's hilarious. But then he calls our bluff because he gets rid of the face, and he's like,
I want some more.
You can tell he kind of liked it. And he started banging the table, yelling at me for more. So I just kept doing it. And he did it every time. He would do the face. But this makes me want to get the pills. I want my kids to
it's actually really fun as a family. And I guess what people do is they do these things called flavor tripping parties. And they get all this food laid out. And then they invite all their friends, and then everyone just sits there and eats food together. It's a trip, man. Like, we had my mom over, and we had Christine's mom over, and we didn't tell them what it was. We just told them to suck on this pill that we weren't giving. We weren't giving them ecstasy. We promise. And they trusted us.
I just want to give you a hug.
Totally.
I love you.
And then we fed them tomato. The first thing we did was give them a tomato. And it was so great to watch our moms, bite into it. And they're like, oh, my word. This is so sweet.
Oh, my word.
It was great. My goodness.
Oh my goodness. Golly gosh. I don't even know. I don't even know how to talk Mayberry. It's not even funny. We're walking around here, me and Shannon, and we're like, man, this is so different than the hood.
Dude, so different from the hood. How many shootings did you have in the last week near your house?
I don't know.
I think it was like 3, right?
Last week there's 3. Yeah.
It just seemed that kind of escaped your memory for a second.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really affect me.
Jeremy, where did the dude get picked up from that got shot in the leg?
Okay, so last Sunday night, so this Sunday, the Sunday that just happened, we were having our community group at our house, and it was like 8:30, apparently all this went down, but I didn't realize it until an hour later after everyone had left. I checked the crime report. I do that from time to time just to see what's going on.
You do that hour by hour?
No, I do it every couple days. But anyways, apparently like 1 block away, a guy got shot in the hand and in the leg, and then he was able to run from the scene, they said. And apparently he got picked up like right in front of our house by somebody and taken to the hospital. So all this was going down right outside, and we didn't hear a peep. We were sitting like right there just
praying,
talking about Jesus. Yeah. Jesus raising the dead and all kinds of other stuff. And some guys getting blasted in the leg.
Some guys getting shot. Oh my god!
So I took the article and sent it to a couple people. I'm like, hey guys, this is what happened right outside of our community group. How about that? It is what it is, man.
I love that phrase, man. That phrase is new to me, but in the last year,
it is what it is. You've never heard that?
No, I mean I've heard it, but like it finally makes sense to me. Like,
what about?
It's the most versatile saying ever. Like you can use it in any situation. Like
that's why I like it.
That's
why I like it.
It's never shallow and it's never like not meaningful, but you can say it in the most shallow like context. It is what it is, and it just makes sense. You're like,
I can use it whenever I want. Another one I like that I haven't been using lately is you win some, you lose some.
You win some, you lose some, bro.
It's like my baby falls and hits his head. And
you win some, you lose some.
You win some, you lose some.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Oh, man.
I love it.
Hey, I think we're coming up on time.
57 minutes in, bro.
I know.
57 minutes in.
Are your fingers tingling from those bitterness pills?
From my ecstasy that I fed my mom?
Dude, that would be so fun.
That would be pretty funny.
Have your mom on drugs. I feel a little loopy.
We could get her on No Agenda on X. There we go.
Oh, that would be good.
So seriously though, get some Emberry, dude. As a family, it's fun.
We'll have a party. We'll have a party.
Fun. And then it's kind of cool because your kids like they get this. I mean, kids already love fruit, right? But they get this like heightened respect for fruit. They just become like absolute herbivores.
Huh. We tell them all the time. See, you're eating sugar. You're eating sugar.
Now they'll believe you.
Don't ever question me again.
We were just annihilating limes. Like we were just going for it.
That's so great.
But I love finding little things in life like that. I love like little fringe things that like. I mean, taste is something that we all experience every day, and I love that can be altered and changed for a period, and that you can experience. What you can experience the sugar of a lemon. I just think that's incredible.
Well, could you imagine having all those tastes available to your taste buds that sit on your tongue and then covering your tongue with something like a balloon and not being able to taste?
I know, right? That's exactly what it was like.
Why would you do that to yourself? Why would anybody do that to themselves?
Because it was so sweet, Jeremy. It was so sweet. Tell
me one awesome thing before we depart.
Wait, what was I going to tell you before I say that? It was something about Emberry. Oh, just that if there's anybody out there that like has like sugar cravings and stuff.
Oh, that's a really good way to curb them.
Yeah, like the other night I just straight up wanted candy. I just felt it. I wanted candy. And I went in and had an Emberry. It was like really late at night, and then cut up some fruit and just binged on it. It was awesome.
Yes. I don't claim to be a fitness guru by any means.
But I'm a fitness guru.
but people sometimes don't realize what they're consuming. They'll be like, well, I eat low carbs or whatever. I don't eat bread. I don't eat whatever. But I'm like, okay, well, what do you eat? Strawberries, bananas, da 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 da.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, that's great. I'm glad you're getting the vitamins and nutrients. But do you realize that it all breaks down the same within your body? It's all sugar.
Yeah.
Sugar.
But if you're having a craving, it's better to eat a strawberry than it is eat a candy bar. That's for sure.
That's exactly right.
So, okay, so tell you something awesome.
Yeah, give me like a fun fact. It could be random. It could be
all right. I'll give you something. It's not fun though. Well, it's kind of fun. It's pretty cool.
How about you tell me and I'll decide whether it's fun.
All right, you do that. All right, so I'm writing yesterday on Xavier, Francis Xavier.
Yeah.
He was like just a freaking epic missionary, right? Like this dude kicked so much butt in his day. He baptized 100,000 people in like 8 years with his own arm, like him, not having other people do it. He did.
I wonder if he was right-handed or left-handed, because whichever
he was right-handed.
Right-handed, so that means he would go down to the right like this.
I guess so.
I bet that bicep was like way overdeveloped.
Yeah, I'm a weird you out big time right here. You ready?
I'm ready.
When he died, they took his arm.
And did what with it?
Because it's considered a relic, and they like sent it around the globe like a bunch of weirdos.
Where is it right now?
It's I think it's in India.
Let's go give him a high five.
Just
in India, that's a great place.
Yeah, it is. So, okay, here's the story with Xavier. I'm writing on him yesterday. The dude raised the dead so many times. But check this out. This is crazy. He's on a ship headed to northeastern China. They even know the name of the ship. It was called like Santa Caros or something like that. And he's on the ship, and they catch this big gust of wind, and they start cooking, right? They're moving. And there's this dad and a son on the boat, and the 5-year-old boy goes overboard. Now, they can't turn the ship around because then they'd be going against the wind. So they can't. There's nothing they can do. Does that make sense?
It is what it is.
It is what it is. So the kid falls over. The dad doesn't immediately know the kid's over, but by the time they figure it out, they look back and they can see him in the waves struggling, and he disappears from sight. Obviously, the father's completely distraught. He never thought this was going to happen. 3 days pass. Francis Xavier's on the ship. After 3 days, he goes up on the deck, and he bumps into the father, who tells him what happened, because for some reason, Xavier didn't know. He was probably just praying the whole time or something. So Xavier says, will you give your life to Jesus if God restored your son to you? And the dad's like, yeah. So for the next couple hours, Xavier disappeared. It's assumed that he probably just went to his little area and was praying. 2 hours later, the dad's on the deck. His son runs up and gives him a hug. Come on.
I love it.
That's fun.
Maybe we should high five this guy.
Yeah, Xavier was BA, man. He was amazing.
Where's he from?
He was originally from like Spain, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, Spain or Portugal or something like that.
Was he like a priest or something, or what was his deal?
He was a missionary to Goa, actually. India.
Really?
Yeah, he did Japan, China, and India were like his main hotspots. But dude, this guy did all kinds of stuff, man. Like, he brought hundreds of thousands of people into the gospel. And actually, a lot of people think that there's no one that compares on a missionary level, an apostolic missionary level, with the exception of Paul, to Xavier. No, like, Paul's the only one that outdid him.
Tyler, this is really exciting. I mean, if you could, if there was a book that had like stories of him, of Xavier, compiled with like a lot of other cool people and cool stories, along with other teachings and things like that, it would be like the ultimate resource.
I just feel like you're setting me up here somehow.
I don't know. Like,
someone should write a book like that.
Too bad. If I go on Amazon, could I find one?
Not yet, but maybe pretty soon.
Really? What would it be called?
The Dead Are Raised.
The Dead Are Raised?
The Dead Are Raised.
Okay. When can I get this book? When would it be available?
It's going to be available probably in like July.
Bro. Probably in July.
Bro.
Okay. Well then, bada bing, bada boom.
Jeremy, you should drive to Austin at the beginning of June. I'm going to be in Austin.
At the beginning of June?
That's like
a couple weeks.
It's like a 12-hour drive for you, right? It's better than like 35 driving to Seattle.
Whoa, that's a long way.
I'll be in Austin at the beginning of June. I'll be closer to you, but not all the way there.
Is there an airport in Austin?
Yeah, it's Austin.
I don't know. I mean, I understand that it's a city and it's a decent sized city. I didn't know there was an airport there.
I understand that it's a city.
You're like, yeah, it's Austin. Some cities don't have airports.
Austin's pretty up with the times, though.
I figured. I mean, they're hip and trendy. And
they're super hip. Bro, Austin is basically it's basically like, here's Texas, and then here's Austin, and that part is California.
Yeah, right.
That's about it.
It's like the tech capital of the South.
Yeah, when I went to Austin, I was like, oh, I'm back in Cali. This is great.
Huh.
Austin's awesome.
Austin's awesome.
Well, buddy, you have a wonderful day. I love you. You're amazing.
Tyler, you are amazing as well. And I love you. Thanks for your friendship, man. Thanks for chatting.
Enjoy the beach.
Thank you for another episode of No Agenda with Jeremy
and Tyler.
Peace out.